space, your space. Your space, my space. Our space. One space, love. My space, your space. Your space, my space. Our space.
You're listening to the OneSpaceLove Show for the love of music, lifestyle, well-being and culture while caring for our planet. On this show, I will be chatting with musicians, artists and creative minds that are living life on purpose by doing what they love.
Your space, my space. Our space. One space, love. One space, love. One space, love.
Welcome, Kate Williams, to the OneSpaceLove Show 2021. How are you, Kate?
I'm so good. I'm really excited. It's been, something we've all been waiting for, I guess. It's been an interesting start to the year. It's sort of been a bit slow for many. There's been a lot of processing going on from all the energy of last year, I think.
Yeah, I think many people that I've spoken to were very welcoming to farewell 2020 and bring on 2021. But already it's been such a ride. I wanted to make this chat today because we had you on last year, and for the listeners, you're one of my very close friends and I absolutely love what you're doing and how you're stepping into your mission and standing up and shining your light bright with what you do, helping many, 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 many souls. So I wanted to call today's show Passion and Purpose. What Beautiful. I wanted to explain, can we share who you are, Kate, and what you do? And then if we can go in and get you to go into that space where you can share some of your inner wisdom with us all.
Yeah, love that. So my name's Kate Williams and I'm a channel. And I bring forward energy and information from a higher consciousness that has been kind of talking to me, I guess, since I was a very little girl. I was always very open and able to see spirits and feel the energy of a lot of things that was very, very subtle and maybe not that everybody around me could feel. And it's taken, a long time to understand all of that and grasp it. But now that I'm working with it as my job, I bring forward messages, and most of the information I bring is about people's life purpose and what it is that they're born in this lifetime to do, what their gifts are and what their skill set is, and how their life leading up to this moment has been a perfect guidance system to get them in alignment and get the skill set that they need, refined so that they can bring forward their gifts and use it for their own betterment, but also for the whole community at large, because everybody is just like a magic piece of a puzzle. And without that piece, the complete picture isn't full. And so when we all step into our power and understand that there's something, much bigger than us, moving through us and guiding us every day. Like, you're not alone. You've got this guidance system. Everybody's got it. And so helping people learn to access that guidance is another part of the work I do. And also, they kind of bring forward information of answers to any kind of problems or experiences people might be having around relationships or just how to cope with life at large. Why have these things been going on with COVID? Why is life seeming so sort of, divided at the moment, and empowering people, to be their best selves, I guess.
Thank you. And last year we touched on some of the tools that can help people stay in this vibration where they can go into that inner like calling or inner voice and hear it. And one of them was to practice mindfulness. Do you want to add on to that at the moment with how we can help be listening more to our guidance, our own personal guidance?
Well, like I said before, everybody is receiving guidance all the time. via your intuition and those little signs and feelings. And but basically it's very, very subtle and it's very, very quiet. And in order to be able to hear that, message and have that message become louder, you have to take time out of your day to sit still very quietly and learn to practice that. Learn to practice to open your awareness and experience stillness so that those messages can start to come in. And like we said, mindfulness is a good thing to do. Like if you're washing the dishes, just wash the dishes, really focus on the water and the soap and the bubbles. Don't be thinking about what you've got to do afterwards or what happened in a conversation earlier. Just be very present and feel those experiences. Or you can sit outside in nature and expand your hearing by trying to listen to the furthest distance of something, a few streets away. Or just even like the sound of the wind rustling in the leaves, or, just paying really attention to small things. But ideally, the best thing to do is to receive some guidance around meditation, maybe start with some guided meditations that you can find online, and then really bring yourself to that stillness and learn how to actually, with guidance from a meditation teacher, sit in silence and receive.
Beautiful. It definitely has changed my path, creating that space in my day to be still and listen, and also implementing it in everything that I do to remind myself, am I in the present moment, or have I gone ahead or behind, thinking of the past or the future? And yeah, it really has helped me to stay on track. One of the things you do is you go in and you tune into, is it guides or people, like, what is your team around you? And can we go in there and can we talk about what's coming up? And let's talk about this subject of passion and purpose.
Yeah, of course. So, I have a team of guidance around me. I've got, angels, as well as my own personal guides, as well as beings from a multi-dimensional kind of space, I guess. It's not necessarily like what we conceive as being people. It's like an energetic form. It's a group entity of many beings that I receive the guidance from, I can
beautiful. So let's go in and talk about passion and purpose, because a lot about the OneSpaceLove Show is I showcase people's stories, and there's many stories coming up of people that are combining their passion and their purpose and making a difference. So I would love to have you go in and share some of your wisdom and guidance for us all.
So everything about you is passion and purpose. Everything that excites you and lights you up and welcomes you into the world. You are a divine being with a presence and a space that's heart opening. And when you concentrate on a particular set of circumstances, of particular ideas, of colours, of tastes, of beings around you that light you up, you get excited and you feel enlivened. Your body's like an indicator all the time, giving you and showing you the way. It's showing you how a particular person or a particular food or a particular restaurant makes you feel alive and awake and energized and excited. And it's about following that path and following that passion and knowing that when you go down that road, you are going to inevitably find some roadblocks. There are going to be things that come up that make you feel like this path is difficult. I can't I can't go down there anymore. It's not giving me the answers I need. But it's a little bit like a hallway with many doors. And as you step down that path, you're trying one door and it won't open. And then you go to the next one and maybe the third or fourth door. And then you find the one that opens and you go down that open door. And when you're sitting in that silence and stillness and you're receiving and you're asking for help and guidance and you're knowing that there's something much bigger than you working through you and calling you and making you excited and knowing that there is something on the other side of that doorway that's helping you express who it is that you are and showing people your ideas and showing people your love. You have a heartfelt desire to be known and to release that knowingness to the world. And everyone has a particular set of circumstances or a particular mindset or a particular way of being. Some people are passionate about flowers, and other people it's about music and sound and the environment of love all around that. And other people it's about food. And so it's understanding that, that little passion of yours has been scratching at the surface your whole life. It will have started very young, at a very young age. You will have been, drawn to, the smells and the tastes of the kitchen, around your mum growing up and cooking, or grandma, or whoever it was, if that's what it is that lights you up, if that is your passion. So it's about finding that core of integrity inside you and believing in yourself and knowing that when you follow that path, you will be led. You will find the door that opens. It's about uniting your spirit and your passion with that of something far greater than you, that energy that makes the trees grow and the bees know where the honey is, and like the environment that's that sort of secret, quiet whisper calling through the oceans and the energies and the love that's all around us. And when we tap into that, when we can feel that experience of that breath of life breathing and moving through us, we become a part of life. And when we become a part of life, that guidance is right there for us, calling us, saying, hey, call that person. I have a feeling about this, or I feel a bit distressed when I think about this other person, or, that's making me feel uneasy. And you don't necessarily know all the answers now, but you will. In time, they will unfold. But the thing is to just start following those hunches and those feelings and those beliefs, and knowing, which indicators are lighting you up, which parts of yourself are being ignited by inspiration and that deep thought process and the visions and ideas and concepts about life that you have that make you want to bring that forth to the world. It's like a soup that you've been cooking for a really long time in the kitchen and putting in all those flavors and all those ideas your whole life, and all your family and childhood experiences are all in there, and they're all cooking up this big magical potion of love. And you've been resting and sitting, and now you're ready to sort of just dose that out and share it with the world, whether it's painting or, business ideas or celebration of life in some sort of form, some sort of culmination of who it is you are. And that's your passion. That's your belief in yourself. And it's really, really important that you share it with the world.
How could you ever be more than you are? Will you ever see how blessed you are? Similarities between your soul and a star. You are always free to call up the name of the one that you are. Beloved, I am, beloved, I am that I am. This is your sacred name. Beloved, I am, beloved, I am that I am. Mother Mary, Saint Germain. Beloved, I am, beloved, I am that I am. Still climbing, will I reach the peak? Beloved, I am, beloved, I am that I am. You are that which you seek, yes.
So beautifully said, Kate. And I think I see it in our children, especially being a mother myself, and I know you're a mother. I see it in my children when they start to get that moments of inspiration and their whole being just lights up. How do we, does everyone have this that they have to find, or I feel that you've said before in the past that everyone does have this, but the world has to operate. There are corporate jobs, so we can't all just follow our bliss and be going on this path. So how do you feel is the best way to navigate this, but also be operating in a grounded? Yeah, tell me.
Sorry, yeah. No, but being yourself and who you are is your authentic passion and power. And just like you said, there is high business people, there's people in corporate, there's people who are accountants, but that is their passion. That is their voice that needs to be spoken. They will have loved numbers since they're a child. They'll be, born leaders or organisers or fascinated in politics. It's like you can see it, like you said, as a child sitting there, you know what I mean? They'll be the ones in the classroom organising groups of circles, and, they'll say, okay, well, we need to have a meeting about this, and all the kids will be waiting to have this idea, and the other kid will be sitting there going, oh, I can't cope anymore. Like, why don't you all sit in 3 groups and we'll discuss this topic, you know what I mean? And one of the children will stand out as the person that's, organising everything, and they may be called a bit bossy or, And
let's just go to that for a minute because, they may be called a little bit bossy. These are the moments we have to capture as adults, right? And maybe you aren't in that job of leadership or politics, yet there is a whisper within you, but someone made a comment that took you way off that path and you ended up packing shelves in Coles or whatever, so you're saying that it is about listening and understanding what is that calling. Are you happy and following? Happy is a big word, but are you feeling that joy and expansion of love and connection to the universe? And if you are, you're moving in the right direction? Is it like a barometer?
Yes, it's like a barometer, and everyone has that deep calling inside. So just like you said, if someone's meant to be a leader and working in politics, but some things have gone awry in their life and they've had advice that has been misplaced and they're ending up at a supermarket, perhaps, like you're saying, packing shelves, and they're still, while they're doing that job, whatever it is, will be a little voice or a little feeling in the back of their head that's kind of just slowly grinding away, going, this isn't right. There has to be something more. I know there's something, but they might not know what it is yet.
Okay.
But they know that there is something else, that what they're doing doesn't feel right. Now, that doesn't mean to say that only jobs in government or only jobs as lawyers or leaders are what is most valuable. Mm-hmm. Some people, their purpose is to be organising shelves. And some people, their purpose is to be cleaning or to be repairing, cars, or to be, what I mean? The world, like you said, there are many, many jobs. People need to grow vegetables. People need to take care of the animals. You know what I mean? Like, it's a very, very complex world we live in. And it's a little bit like if you get a watch, an old-fashioned watch, and turn it over and open the back, and you see all the cogs in there moving around and kind of moving together. Each one is a completely different shape, and each little wire and each little, mechanism is completely different, but they're all working in unison. They're all working perfectly in harmony, and each one of them is vital and each one of them is necessary. Mm. And so it's ideally, the job of the mothers and the teachers and the caretakers of children to be observing them in their natural play. Play is so very important, and to see what it is that generates joy or sparks an interest in those children. But you don't have to be a child. Like I said, you can be a grown adult and have lost your way and been misguided and misdirected, and you can still discover it and find out what it is.
And Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below us, above us only sky. Imagine all the people living for today. Imagine there's no countries. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for, and no religion too. Imagine all the people living life in peace. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you will join us, and the world will be as one.
It's not too late.
No,
And why-
it's never too late.
And why is it more important at the moment, what we're all experiencing worldwide? Why do you feel that now more than ever it is time for us to listen to this?
Because up until now, people have been taught and conditioned to think and feel a certain way. Leadership was there. It was a guidance. It was a way of making people understand what is right and what is wrong and how to live and operate in this world. And we were governed by something, a long, long time ago, people were governed and had this ability more to tune into the environment and nature and something bigger than themselves. But over the last 2000, a long, long time, that has been, controlled and manipulated more and more. And as you're moving through life and growing up, you have the conditions of your family and your culture and your schooling and your education. And a lot of it has been money driven. A lot of it has been driven by the enterprise of life of saying, get your financial life in order. Where are your finances coming from? What's the best financial gain you can get for yourself? But as we're seeing in society and life, a lot of health conditions are coming up for people. A lot of people are miserable and depressed and suffering emotionally at a great, great level. There's a big movement now of mental health and realizing, men's mental health, but anybody's mental health. And all of that.
And it's starting at a young age, the mental health.
It's getting younger and younger, and we're becoming more and more absorbed in digital content. and taking us away from nature and our true selves. And we're getting influenced by what is looked to be cool and the norm. And it's very, very overwhelming for a small child to be able to find their own way and their own nature. And so it's about the reason why finding your purpose now is so important is because if you're not living your purpose, you will be unhappy to a certain degree. There'll be some sort of health problem going on. There'll be some sort of emotional crisis of upheaval coming in your life and, you know, bringing that to the surface. And the reason why those things come to the surface, it's like life has this way of squashing you and making you feel very small and uncomfortable, and difficult circumstances are all there to push you forward to your greater self. We sort of look at life in an upside down way, and we see these difficult circumstances as something that's happening to me. I'm the victim of this circumstance. I'm a victim of life, you know. I'm afraid I can't go out there. But actually, life's difficult circumstances are removing and taking away obstacles, basically, or giving you difficulties, you know, if it's a health difficulty, you know, it's teaching you to be more mindful and be aware of, well, what am I actually eating? What am I putting in this sacred body, in this sacred vessel? What am I listening to? What am I watching on the television, you know? And this awareness starts to grow, and you start to find your true authentic self. And you're like, oh, you know, my life isn't serving me anymore. And you start asking these big questions.
And at them, you know, especially since last year, a lot of people have been asking, what do I value? You know, what are they doing about? They're talking about relationships, and because we've been really closed in and having to there's been like a magnifying glass put on our little worlds, that we've had to have a look at it with eyes wide open. So that, I guess, is another reason why, particularly this time, it's all coming up to the surface, like bubbling up to the surface for us to pay attention.
Completely. All of those things have happened perfectly, you know, all of circumstances. It's really making exactly like what you said, looking at it with a magnifying glass, like exaggerating, you know, the thoughts you've been having for a long time, going, this isn't right, this isn't serving me. And then you're like, well, bang, here. Now you've got no choice, you know, because life can't continue the way we've been continuing. The earth cannot sustain that level of progress and that level of, you know, like I said, people are breaking down, the environment's breaking down, you know, on multi levels.
Let's talk about, I have a dear friend that recently just lost an important job and is now looking at what it is they love and what they want to do. So what comes up for them is fear. And I know that this, you know, is something that rose for me when I was faced different paths, and it's very normal to come up. What is your guidance on how we can acknowledge the fear, acknowledge the emotions that are coming up, but still trust and have faith in that inner voice and listening to the steps it's showing us to take, or the relationships it's asking us to complete?
So the first thing is developing a relationship with yourself.
Okay.
People aren't still enough to actually know and listen to their own heart and their own true voice. They've sort of been super busy, super, you know, doing. And it, you know, you're busy all day, you get home at night, you watch TV, people often have a drink. There's all these things they're doing to cover themselves up in layers of food and, you know, consumption. And in doing that, you are blocking those really subtle forms of information coming from your true self, coming from your guides, coming from your higher self. And so taking the time to just sit and be still. That's the first, very, very, very first step, and be comfortable with that, because the fear is there and it's very real and it does feel like it's swallowing you up. But if you just sit still and just go, okay, I see you, you're there. But just like, you have maybe a pet just sitting beside you, just sit and just ask it to sit still beside you. And then after a while, just like listen to it. Say, what is it that you have to say? What is it that you're afraid of? And you're afraid maybe of stepping into this new job or this passion of yours that's been basically calling you for ages that you've been ignoring. So the voice, this fear, will be saying something like, oh, but what if I can't make enough money doing that? What if my friends will reject me and think I'm weird? What if I can't take care of my family? What if I won't be able to pay my mortgage? You know what I mean? There's just these, and they all real and feel very real. But the truth of the matter is, if you still ask them to just sit beside you, and then you still sit in the silence and you start to build this relationship with something greater than you and start to understand this guidance that's coming through, it will give you step-by-step guidance of the messages of what you need to do to walk that path. It's trust. It's trust in something bigger than you. That it really is like you can either live in a magical world where you do have a passion and you do have something greater than you helping you, or you can live in a 3D kind of like constructive criticism, analytical, fearful, what if, security life. And if you live in that life, if you live in this life, most people do, if you stay there, that fear about stepping into this abundant, joyful, passionate life, it will always be there. And the only way to remove it is to just say, you sit here and you sit here and I'm going to sit here in the middle, and just be still without any step forward at this time. Just be very, very still. And then slowly this mind, this other abundant faith, trust, passion world will just give you little droplets. Just like if you drop water into the, a lake and you watch those rings coming out, and it will say, just call that person, or just buy those ingredients to make that new bread, or just, here's a little tune, just write down the tune. It'll be a tiny little breadcrumb of information. And so you follow that path and you start doing it, and slowly it'll just give you another one. It won't show you the big picture or the full, you won't have all the answers but then but it's a choice. Do I want to stay here in this fearful, frightened, and talk about the fear? You know what I mean? It goes on and on and on. It's a cycle that never stops.
I love the way you put that, Kate, because I mean, in my experience, I'm a busy mother, as you know, and still have life happening around me. But what I love in what you're sharing is fear still comes up for me. Emotions of anger still come up, but I handle them very different, and I'm able to go, do I want to feel a constriction, or do I want to feel it and then come back to an expansiveness? And that's how I sort of see it. Like, I love your example of the pebble dropping and the ripple effect, because I notice when I am restricting, when I'm not taking a full breath, and I'm able to catch it now. And it's almost like, I'm viewing it from the outside. I'm like, okay, this feels uncomfortable, but I'm going to sit in the uncomfortableness. I think it's about also just allowing it to come through you and not resisting it, and then expanding from that space.
Yeah, not getting caught up in it as well, because we're all very good at storytelling. And if something uncomfortable or difficult is happening, we sort of have this habit of sharing it with our neighbours or sharing it with the people at school or, family, and next person rings and you tell them and you tell them. And it's just like, just let it sit beside you and just witness it. Just see it without having to always share and talk about it and build momentum in it, because everything's energy and everything is gaining energy or retracting energy. And whatever you're focusing on is growing, whether that be a negative experience or whether that be a blissful experience.
I mean, I love that saying, where attention goes, energy flows. And I think that's such an important point you make, especially now in this time. Let's stop talking and getting stuck in the story and being stuck in being a victim of our life. Instead of surviving, let's start thriving, and let's start staying in this space of, that was my story, but now my story is in this moment, and create a new story.
Well, I gotta give thanks once again, bringing in the word for the world of men. Say, this goes out to the children. No matter what they tell you, you could never say no. We are here, we are divine, and the time has come for us all to shine. And I give thanks for the one mind, and I give thanks for the love design. I said, let the sunlight fill your eyes, let your voices harmonize. When you look into a child's eyes, you can see everything that's God in the sky. So relax as it all rearranges. We are all going through the same changes. I like to sing a song with you, so give thanks one time. What you gonna do? Give thanks. People of the world waking up, I give thanks. Give thanks. This is how I fill my cup. I give thanks. Give thanks. Whoa, 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 I give thanks. Give thanks for the one.
I'm giving thanks for this life that I'm living and what I'm seeing, freeing up my mind for what I truly believe in, giving thanks for the children and the light that they spark in my heart, inspire the way that I walk and I talk. I'd rather teach them of what they could be than what they are not. Faith in they channel in third eye spot, celestial vision, and the voice they got, and the love that we all will never be stopped. Giving thanks for the tools and the jewels that we blessed with, use them in the time when life gets hectic. Band of light, yeah, that's the nexus, the place where people come and get connected. Earth, wind, water, fire, ancient ancestors' wisdom takes us higher. Build the foundation for 7 generations to come. We are one.
Give thanks. People of the world waking up, I give thanks. Give thanks. This is how I fill my cup. I give thanks. Give thanks. Whoa, 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 I give thanks. Give for the one. For the one. So what you gonna do? What you gonna say? Give thanks for today. So what you gonna do? What you gonna say? Give thanks for.
And talk more about your dreams. Talk
Yes.
more about what your passions are. Talk more about what you're creating, not about what happened to stop that.
I love, I think it's Shirley MacLaine. She talks about how she does not like small talk. And I very much feel that way at the school drop off and pick up. I just almost walk away from the small talk. I'd rather stand in silence by myself. It's not that I don't have time for so many beautiful souls at school pick up and drop off, but I don't have a lot of energy to give to small talk. So I love that point that you're bringing up again, that let's start talking about what excites us. What are we passionate about? And sharing that with people that we meet and see how that makes a difference,
Yeah. And it can even be, you know what I mean, that you just bought yourself a bunch of flowers, or, you saw a cat, something in nature, or, just anything that that lights you up and bring you joy. Yeah, start sharing your joy and your bliss rather than your pain and sadness and suffering.
Let's end on that, Kate, because I love that passion and purpose. And let's start sharing our bliss and what brings us joy rather than sharing the painful stories. Yeah, moving from a place of that.
Yeah, that's the new shift. That's what it's all about. Concentrating your energy on focus on that which brings you joy.
Always such a pleasure and joyful to have you on the show, and we will be having you on more.
Yeah, I'd love that so much. I'd love you heaps.
Love you too. Can you share with everyone how they can connect with you if they need some help? Because what you do is you help them listen to that, show them how to really tune in and listen to that, and you're able to bring through messages to assist them, to help them with guidance so that they can get on that path and see the doors that are opening. Can you help explain where people can reach you?
Instagram's a great place. So Kate Williams Channel, at Kate Williams Channel, or on my website, www.katewilliams.com.au.
Thank you so much, Kate Williams, for being on the OneSpaceLove Show, and look forward to catch up with you again very shortly.
Oh, it's such a pleasure. I can't wait to see you and share more very soon.
Thank you.
Bye.
OneSpaceLove.